Imagine that everything you believed about the apocalypse is about to be turned upside down. Right now, we're about to reveal a secret that can change your worldview in an instant. Prepare to be astonished by a truth that challenges long-held beliefs. Dive into controversies and discover a power that can transform your life almost instantly. This isn't just another video. It's the key to a deeper and more transformative understanding. Stay with us. Unravel this mystery and see why thousands are questioning what they knew until now. But first, support me by subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Now that you've done that, let's get into the video. In Revelation chapter 12, God revealed to John the apocalypse of Jesus Christ, to disclose to his disciples the events that would soon take place. John was the recipient of this divine revelation, filled with mysteries about the future, warning that the end is near, and the verdict will be inevitable. It offers us only a glimpse of Eden and the wonders that await us. Revelation 12:1 presents an imposing sign. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. This phenomenon is the first of 7 that John exposes, symbolizing an important and intimidating omen. The woman mentioned symbolizes a crucial aspect, possibly representing the church, Israel, or a maternal figure, depending on the interpretation. The child she conceives is commonly interpreted as the incarnation of Christ, emphasizing his redemptive mission. The dragon represents adversity and evil, commonly identified with Satan, directly opposing the woman and the child, illustrating the eternal struggle between the forces of good and evil. In Revelation chapters 12 to 14, key figures and events of the Great Tribulation are described with this magnificent sign, introducing the revelations that follow and unveiling. Presenting the first of the 7 signs, we observe a female figure illuminated by the sun. John emphasizes that this constitutes a significant sign, not anticipating a literal manifestation of this woman on earth. This symbol is a divine means of conveying messages both to John and to us. The vision of a woman clothed with the sun has been linked to various religious elements throughout history. Following Joseph's vision, this woman bathed in sunlight is interpreted as the representation of Israel from a biblical perspective. In the dream, Jacob is represented by the sun, Rachel by the moon, and the 11 stars as the sons of Israel who revered Joseph. Now, Joseph joins these representations, forming the set of 12 stars. In Genesis 37:9, Joseph reports another dream where he sees 11 stars, the sun, and the moon bowing before him. In other biblical narratives, Israel, Zion, or Jerusalem are often symbolized as a woman. In Hosea 2:19-20, the commitment of faithfulness and love is described with marital allegories, highlighting the relationship between God and Israel. I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you in righteousness and justice, in love and compassion. I will betroth you in faithfulness, and you will acknowledge the Lord. When the woman in Revelation 12:2 enters labor, her affliction and pain are vivid. She is about to give birth, and the text promises to reveal more about the child's identity later. Then, a formidable and fearsome dragon emerges, symbolizing a new layer of challenge and power, comprehensive authority, profound wisdom and vigor, painting a truly intimidating picture. It is crucial to recognize that the term diadems, a transcription of the Greek diadema, is exclusive to Revelation in the New Testament, differing from the word crown mentioned earlier. The distinction lies in the fact that the crown alludes to a definitive conquest, while the diadem symbolizes sovereignty and command. This female figure therefore stands out remarkably from the other women portrayed in Revelation. We encounter other female figures in Revelation, such as Jezebel. Jezebel is related to a religious system that propagates deceptive doctrines. In Revelation 2:20, there is a criticism of the tolerance towards Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess and leads my followers into immorality and the eating of food sacrificed to idols. Another figure mentioned is the great prostitute, linked to religious idolatry in Revelation 17:2, where it is said that she seduced the kings of the earth with her fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her debauchery. We also know the bride who symbolizes the church. This analogy is described in Revelation 19:7-8, where the arrival of the Lamb's wedding is celebrated and the bride, the redeemed, prepares by wearing fine linen, bright and pure. The linen represents the righteousness of the saints, their virtuous actions, integrity, moral courage, and virtue. Now we observe the dragon introducing more calamities, continuing its path of destruction and evil. Revelation 12:4 narrates that the dragon's tail swept a third of the stars from the sky, casting them to the earth. The dragon positioned itself before the woman, about to give birth, waiting for the moment of delivery to devour the newborn child. Verse 9 of the same chapter clearly identifies the dragon as the ancient serpent, also known as the devil and Satan, famous for his ability to deceive the entire world. Verse 4 also informs us that the dragon was waiting for the birth of the Messiah with the purpose of annihilating him. God did not create an entity of evil. On the contrary, he formed angels endowed with the capacity to experience profound happiness and accomplish remarkable feats in their heavenly environment. They possessed free will, an inherent characteristic of their moral condition, allowing them to choose between adherence to God or their own ruin. While some, like Michael and his angels, remained faithful, others rebelled against divine authority, becoming fierce opponents of God and his kingdom. The passage also mentions the birth of a boy, destined to rule all nations with rigor, directly alluding to Jesus Christ, the Messiah, who exercises his dominion with determination and strength. From his mouth comes a sharp sword, which is his word by which he will judge the nations. He will lead them with an iron rod and tread the winepress of the furious wrath of the Almighty God, executing judgment upon the rebellious world. The attempt to annihilate the child initially manifested in Herod's effort to exterminate Jesus in his infancy, an act that extended throughout Jesus' existence, with Satan's continuous attacks against him. In Matthew 2:16-18, we see the narrative of Herod, who, feeling deceived by the Magi, was enraged and ordered the massacre of all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity 2 years old and under, according to the information he had gathered from the Magi. Thus, the prophecy spoken by Jeremiah is fulfilled. Despite Satan's attempts to eliminate Christ, he is born, caught up to heaven, and later ascends after the resurrection. The effort to correctly interpret who the woman represents gains clarity when we analyze the metaphors of her labor pains, a prophetic vision also mentioned in other Old Testament texts, such as in Micah 4:9-10. Why do you now cry aloud? Have you no king? Has your ruler perished, that pain seizes you like that of a woman in labor? Micah describes the anguish and affliction like a woman writhing in labor pains. Daughter Zion, you must leave the city, live in the fields and go to Babylon. There you will be rescued. There the Lord will redeem you out of the hand of your enemies. Micah foresaw the captivity of Israel in Babylon, an experience marked by acute sufferings comparable to labor pains. However, even in adversity, the nation would be liberated and redeemed by God. The metaphor of labor pains is invoked again by Micah in his prophecy, illustrating the nation's ongoing suffering, which would persist until the remnant gave birth to the Messiah. Such prophecy brought a message of hope. The Messiah would come to lead and strengthen his people with divine authority. The symbolism of labor pains reflects the tribulations of the nation of Israel, foreshadowing the purification and renewal of its people.